Can I get an officer out here? There's a lady laying in the pool. She dead.
Every attempt to revive her on scene was taken. We transported her to the hospital where a doctor declared her deceased. The victim was identified as 38-year-old Samara Frash.
I think all of her family was back overseas. Samira would tell me stories of how she was a model in Madagascar and France, did a little bit of acting, did a little bit of singing, music videos. So I heard some great stories of her life before she moved to this country. They fell in love, they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together. He flew her to Vegas, had a quick wedding. It was a beautiful wedding, a small affair. She had always dreamed of coming to America and being a part of this life.
She was murdered. Shortly after Mrs. Frash's body was found in the swimming pool, Mr. Frash was located at their residence in Panama City, Florida. So about 2.5 hours away from the crime scene. The medical examiner was able to author a report. It appeared she was struck with something on one side of her head and then was still alive when she was placed into the pool because there was water in her lungs indicating that she was attempting to inhale once she was placed in the pool. But those findings did not include a time of death. That's because the temperature of the pool, it was quite cold, interfered with the decomposition of the body in such a way that the experts were not able to determine how long it had been since she'd been murdered.
Everybody be seated, please.
The defense makes a good case saying that Adam left around 8 o'clock in the morning. And if you can't give us a time of death, then he's not guilty.
Okay, can you explain how body temperature would have impacted your conclusion?
When a person dies, you no longer maintain your internal body temperature the way we warm-blooded animals do under normal circumstances. That factor is complicated in this instance because she's in a cold body of water. So that will accelerate the time course of the cooling of her body.
Was there an actual body temperature of Mrs. Frost at the time she was recovered?
No, there was no body temperature measured when she was recovered.
And what was the last factor that you...
It was the wrinkling of the fingers and toes.
And how was that significant?
The absence of any such wrinkling of the fingers or toes speaks to the likelihood that she has been immersed for a relatively short period of time.
Good morning again.
Morning, sir.
I was definitely excited to cross-examine Dr. Arden because he was so certain in his conclusion, and when there were a lot of things that he needed to accept could undermine that conclusion. You need a reading of Mrs. Frosh's body to make any sort of, I guess, determination about how far she's gone from 98.6, which is a living person, correct?
We have one attempt to measure her body temperature. The thermometer did not register.
So I guess you don't have any data then, correct?
Incorrect. We have data that the body temperature was not high enough to register on that thermometer. That puts you at about 80 or below.
Okay, can you
I don't have an exact measurement, I said that already, but I do have data.
His theory was that Samara Frosh's body had not been in the pool for a very long time, which placed Adam Frosh in Panama City, because if he can put Adam Frosh in Panama City based on his believed time of death, Adam Frosh is not guilty of murder. So our strategy going in was to negate the defense theory that she had recently gone into the pool and it was some unknown person that had done it, even though there was no exact time of death that could be nailed down, that the other evidence pointed to Adam Frosch having been the cause of death.
State of Florida versus Adam Frosch. We, the jury, find as follows. As the indictment, the defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
It's sombering, but you're grateful because, you know, he was being held accountable for his actions and for what he did to Samer Frosch.
When I found out that Adam was found guilty, it brought a sense of peace to my mind that finally Samara received the justice that she deserved.